In China, the places you see most in the media are bustling cities along the eastern coast, like Shanghai. Over the past few decades, countless skyscrapers have risen out of the ground in these big cities. But far away in the west, beyond the spotlight, lies a landscape few have ever heard of. Salt Lakes, City Wilderness, and in the northwest, China's loneliest city. And at the far edge, the final fortress of the Great Wall. On this journey, I'll take you to explore the loneliest city in China, to walk through an abandoned oil town swaddled by time, and finally, to stand on the very end of the Great Wall. Far in the northwest of the Kaidan Basin lies a small, lonely, and mysterious city, Mangya. Its surroundings are harsh and unforgiving. Dry, cold mountains rolling endlessly into vast stretches of desert. A natural barrier that keeps the city isolated from outside the world. So why is there a city here at all? We're heading to the loneliest city of China. We set out from Gomod. It's about 300 miles to Mangya. But between unfamiliar terrain and strict speed limits, it took us nearly 8 hours to get there. Finally, guys, after a hell of a long day of driving, we finally got to the loneliest city of China. By the time we arrived, it was too late to explore. The next morning, under gray skies, the town felt still and quiet. Low buildings, empty streets. It didn't seem busy at all. Driving at this town feels like this town's dead. It's very quiet. It's lunchtime and you barely see any pedestrians on the road. It looks very dead. As we drove around, we noticed many people wearing the same work uniform. We learned that they were petroleum workers. This area is surrounded by oil fields. They move whenever the work takes them, settling near the fields. When the nearby oil field shut down, the small towns around it were abandoned completely. It felt like we'd seen most of what Mangya had to offer, so we decided to head towards one of those abandoned towns to see if there was still anything left to explore. Finding the abandoned town wasn't hard. Getting inside was. It had been left untouched for years, and entry was not straightforward. This place is crazy, guys. This is an abandoned petrol town. Apparently, it has been abandoned for a very long time. As you guys can see, we're trying to find our way to crack in the center of this town. Let's dive in. After some effort, we finally made it in. We drove down what must have been the main street. The kind of music got smooth and slow. I reminisce about the days of old. Down a rock and roll. And then I noticed something strange. Guys, I found it very strange. As you guys can see on top, they were destroyed, but they were all similar. Why is that? What do you guys think? Leave a comment, let me know. I honestly, I have no clue. Were they intentionally being put like this? Or is it the art of nature? Let me know in the comments, guys. I tried to find some traces of life from when people lived here, but there was nothing. Everything had been cleared away. And so we moved on to the final destination of this journey. The Great Wall, you know, is probably Beijing's Badaling section, visited by presidents, celebrities, and millions of tourists. But here's something you might not know. The Great in Great Wall is not exaggeration. According to historical records and modern surveys, the wall stretches over 21,000 kilometers, in total which is around 13,000 miles. The most complete and best known section belonged to the Ming dynasty, built from 14th to 17th centuries. It runs from Hukshan in Liaoning Province in the east all the way to Jiayuguan in Gansu Province in the west. And that's where we're going. This is the end of the Great Wall. This is the Great Wall where nobody ever mentioned. It's at the most west point of the Great Wall, where it's almost 2,000 miles away from Beijing. The wall's history goes back much earlier, to the Warring State periods. It was built to defend against invasion and protect farmlands and lives in central China. The nomadic tribes in the north were expert horsemen, their greatest strength being mobility and freedom from supply lines. The wall stopped their cavalry from moving quickly. If they switch it to infantry assaults, they lose that advantage. Beacon tower along the wall could quickly signal nearby troops. Now we're gonna take you guys to climb the most west side of the Chinese Great Wall. Fellas! We're now at the end of the Great Wall. I bet not that many people have seen this before, even for me as a local Chinese. So let's go. At its highest point, Jiayuguan reaches 2,722 meters above sea level, much higher than the plants. It might not look as tall as the other sections, but climbing it is not a joke. I had to stop several times to catch my breath. It's hard to imagine how centuries ago people managed to build this here. But finally, I've managed to reach the top. 我操！妈的！啊！啊！ The Great Wall is a cultural treasure of both China and the world, a symbol of Chinese wisdom, strength, and unity. For China, it's a vital historical heritage and a source of national cohesion. For the world, it's a miracle of human engineering, a witness to cultural exchange, and a reminder of China's desire for peace and harmony with other nations. From a lonely city to an abandoned town to the final fortress at the edge of history, this land tells its story in silence.